That's what we up here for.
We can spar right now.
It's about opinions. What you think. That's what the world want to know, what you think. And that's why we here at Master Boxing. But before we get started, we want to give you guys a little bit a background on what this is all about. We got several people from different disciplines, and we want to bring the fact that the mixed martial art world is coming across the playing field onto the platform of boxing. So it's going to create intrigue, and it's going to create nothing but something that's going to be beautiful moving forward, as I can see it. That's what I see it as. I see the world of combat is coming together, and it's about to become a force. And so we're going to go around the panel and see which discipline which each one of these guys are actually a part of. Starting from left side with my man. Introduce yourself.
The wild punch, you already know. Connor gonna take that right from. Yeah, he knows. And what my discipline is, Muay Thai, and also Jiu-Jitsu, and a little bit of boxing, just a little bit.
Yeah, y'all.
But you guys already know.
You already know what he's doing out here in social media. Let's get it popping. And my man over here.
Yeah, it's me, Mr. Philly Shell Zion, and you know my discipline is boxing, and you know Mayweather's gonna take it. Yeah, just sit down.
Man, not Weather.
Condo, Mcgregor.
Alright, my man.
It's Primo. You already know who I am. I'm a boxer at Master Boxing. That's what I do, man. I love it. As far as the fight, man, I'm gonna have to go with Mayweather. It's an easy pick.
Nah, that's like his name. Man, not Weather. Get it right. Get it
My
right.
man here.
You already know, my name is Pup. According to the fight, we're going with Floyd Money Mayweather. Because even the best boxers couldn't even beat Floyd. What makes you think an MMA fighter could come into his world and embarrass him?
Y'all hear that? Let me hear some comments.
Floyd's gonna do it again, man.
Floyd's like 400 years old, right? Can't fight anymore.
Okay, he's going down right now. He on fire right now. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. That's what it has to be. You gotta lay it out there. And over here we have.
So I go by Trey Mars. I am a Taekwondo purple belt. I recently just jumped in the boxing world with the homies. Personally, I'm just going for whoever wins. You know, I think Floyd has a lot to bring to the table. I also think that Mcgregor has a lot to bring to the table.
You gotta pick one.
I gotta pick one.
You have to pick one. You can't just say
See
whoever
that?
wins.
I just jump into a world if I do that. You know, I like
We
to
just
be
rolling
like,
the dice. What do the dice say?
Mayweather.
Mayweather, you say you're rolling with Mayweather. So
Right now.
I want to be on your side because, you know, we like to kick it, you know what I'm saying? But, all right.
Hey, so all of these guys, you know, have tasted boxing and they've tasted the other mixed martial arts. And I mean, evidently, it must be something intriguing because we got our boxers over here trying to kick the bag now. So, you know, like I said, the taste of the bug will spread both ways. You know, the guys over there want to taste over here and vice versa. I mean, if you don't want to learn something new, it's probably a knock on yourself. But the fact that they are showing the world of boxing got an opportunity to see some of the disciplines. Since Conor McGregor doesn't have any plain boxing footage, they were able to see some of the things that he does in his matches in the cage. That octagon is something special. You know I'm a big fan of MMA. I watch all the UFC fights. I probably watch more than the people that are in the MMA because I tune in. I watch all science, and when I watch those guys, like, it's just what it takes to do what it is they do. It takes a special. We are football players, we're basketball players, we're soccer players on a professional level. So it's just something that looks good whenever you see all of those guys, especially mixing up all of those disciplines, and what it takes to do that is absolutely crazy. So when it comes to George came into boxing. He was kickboxing. He's done. I mean, the guy is versed. So if you've seen any of his training clips out there, I mean, which I'm positive you haven't. If you haven't, it's something special to watch. It shows what it takes for a guy. So over the past year, what have you learned since you've been in boxing? Because this is good, because this will give you an idea of what Connor's going through right now.
Yeah, all jokes aside, boxing is hard. It's hard. Like it's harder than mixed martial art. Like really, cause there's so many little detail, and they said the devil in the detail. So that's why those boxers can do so many different things, and that's what I appreciate from then and from boxing, cause now I can add that to my repertoire, and I'm not just talking about hands, I'm talking about footwork.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing
Indeed.
that I learned in boxing. The footwork is so, it's like something else. So,
It's a different animal.
as far as McGregor go, I seen some stuff on YouTube and stuff like that, and I know that he just gonna be unorthodox and stuff like that. He's not gonna do anything boxing, nothing, because he knows where Floyd Mayweather was born. He's like he been raised in boxing, so there's no need for him to like do anything boxing. Just get your hands ready, and then use that awkwardness at your advantage until, and just let me watch. Just give me something to watch. That's it.
Yeah.
Hopefully you can kick him.
He can tell you though, real talk. I mean, he came into the sport, I mean, dedicated, but there are different levels to this thing, and whenever you come in with the mindset, like a Conor McGregor, to be honest, straightforward, this is straight liquor, no chaser. Conor McGregor comes into the sport with the understanding of the grind.
Yeah.
He has a maniacal drive, and that's where it makes the fight interesting. His confidence cannot be shaken, and y'all have seen that. And when you have that type of individual, that's this guy over here who just finished talking is that kind of animal. And I mean, you're going to see a lot of him, no doubt. And he can tell you what it's like to be in a ring with him.
It's like everywhere you go, you can't go anywhere. It's just like you're constantly being blocked off. Man. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's called.
No matter how quick you are, he's right in front of you.
Yeah,
Hitting you in the head.
and under and over. And that, I mean, just to be saying it, so when you see a style like Mayweather, let's just say if he was Mayweather and he was McGregor now, McGregor is more of a counterpuncher. He ain't. He's Tyson. You know what I'm saying? And has just totally taken a peekaboo to new heights. So when you see a guy like that who eats up the road like Pac-Man, and then he put that pressure on you, because we all know in the sport of boxing, pressure bursts pipes. And when he coming, if you don't have your conditioning right, what is it like when you in there and you ain't got your conditioning right?
Get blasted.
If you're tired, you might see stars.
Legs go first.
Yeah.
Eruption.
When your legs gone, whew, I mean, so you see this fight where Conor's been on for 2 years strong. The whole 2 years Mayweather's been gone. You've seen Conor getting that work, constant work. And he's not taking a step back and what showed his fortitude is when he lost the first fight to Nate Diaz in a brutal battle. And decided, if I'm about this life, what I need to do is come get my face back. And when I saw that happen, he came back and win, lose, or draw. That second fight was in the top 3 of most brutal fights in history, including club, bar fights, professional, amateur, in World War II. That second fight won't be surpassed, because if anyone else goes into the ring or the octagon and puts forth that effort, that was the closest thing to death, like Joe Frazier said back in the 70s when he fought Ali the first time and the third time. He said that's the closest thing to death. Whenever you leave it in the ring like that boy did, he learned what you call fortitude, intestinal fortitude. Like Sugar Ray Leonard always said, that's why guys like Floyd would have survived in any era, because of that intestinal fortitude. And whenever you have that, it takes time to develop it. Because Conor, he tapped out the first time. Second time, he got clapped the same way, but he had a different cachet that time. So it's just like any other sport. You have to get better with time if you cut out to do it. So, like I said, now my man Trey, he's came on board. Tell about your experience last week in the game. He was in here getting it in. He wanted to get his feet wet. He got his feet wet. He got his feet wet.
I did. It was a good experience being able to train with boxers because being in Taekwondo, the main focus is not to hit the head. So being able to go in and really focus on aiming for that part. And like you said, the footwork, that's like a really important thing for me too. So being able to get the best of both worlds, you know, merging those together, that's a really good thing for me too.
Cool.
Now I give an opinion real quick on McGregor also. So being that he's training now, he's kind of not, he's like in his element, but also like he's switching up a different aspect of his element. Mm-hmm. You know, by jumping into boxing, he's no longer focusing on everything, you know, that he's been focusing on for years. So I truly think that he's going to really have to really have that main focus as that, which is really going to help him when he's, you know, boxing against Mayweather. So I think if he's really training right now and he's really like hardcore on that boxing, you know, one thing that I did hear about was that, you know, he's going 12 rounds and stuff, and he actually got knocked out while he was training. So, you know, if that's actually going to happen, I hope not.
Actually, I think he should do like 22 or something like that, or 30 rounds.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not joking, because his conditioning is no good. And I think that's why Floyd has so much confidence right now to knock him out, because he knows he can get him tired and knock him out. And that's something that Floyd can do. So he got to like spar for like 20 rounds, not 12. 12 is not good enough against Floyd.
Exactly.
And we all know that he's talking about knocking Floyd out. It's not going to be that easy. And I hear a lot of people talking about how is Floyd going to adapt to his own thing, but people are not talking about how is Conor is going to adapt to Floyd, which he got to do too. So that's, as a fighter, we all know that I got to adapt to him and he got to adapt to me. That's why fighting somebody new is so like nerve-wracking.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing.
I think it's not only just the boxing and everything, it's really that mental focus that you're also going to have too. You know, like when you're actually in there, it's not just the physical, it's really like your mind and your point, your fine point, how you're actually going to be able to hit that, you know, that part of you continuously. So I think that's really one main thing that McGregor is going to have to focus on a lot more. Like, you know, Mayweather, he's been doing it for years, but McGregor, like, he's jumping into a different world now, you know what I'm saying? So he's opened a different door, you know, to himself and to like everything else that he's doing, you know, with everything that he's doing in general. So that's going to be like that main one. I think, you know, if he's meditating and stuff like that too, that's really going to help him out.
Yeah.
And before Coach said something, I heard a lot about McGregor going to knock out Floyd because he punched hard. He might punch hard, he might rock him, I mean, because he's bigger than Floyd, but I'm sure Floyd can take 1 or 2, 3 punches.
Yeah.
You know, he can take that, especially for being fighting so long and he hasn't been punished as much as other fighters. I'm sure he can take that. So
yeah, and that's another thing. I think you gotta look at the fact that McGregor's an MMA fighter. So can he really throw the jab? Can he use his jab in the fight in the boxing world? We don't know. We're gonna find out.
Exactly.
yeah.
A lot of question marks right there, but what I want to know right now is, you pick Floyd. Why is Floyd going to win, and how is he going to win? When you pick somebody, like I write for the bettors, when you pick somebody, you got to have something that weighs on. You compare it and you kind of put the X's and O's together and you cross it over and you come up with an answer. Now the odds right now are 4-1 in Floyd's favor, but as Vegas gets closer, I think it's 60% of the people or that are betting are rolling with Conor. That's fan base and stuff, and people, you know, they listen to Conor, and Conor sounds so convincing. And that's that thing that I said. Even during the Klitschko-Anthony Joshua fight, what did I tell you guys that he said? Anthony Joshua said, I practice my confidence like I practice my jab. I practiced the confidence. I practiced the ring walk. I practiced the confidence when I looked into the crowd, and I wanted them to see that I believed that I was going to win that fight. I wanted them to see it in my eyes before I went out. And when I got into that ring, I stopped, I turned around, leaned my back against the ropes and looked into the audience and took it all in because I knew I was about to be the man. And that's kind of what it is. Conor McGregor has that thing. How can you really blame the people that are choosing him because they don't see no wussy in him and he ain't showing nothing? I mean, I don't know another athlete, let alone UFC fighter, a mixed martial art. I don't care if you're from Bellator. I don't care if you're from the NFL. I don't care if you're from rugby. I've never seen an athlete cross over without doubts in his speech, in his language, in his presence. And that on its own probably will never be duplicated again because you cannot see it. You cannot see that thin silver lining that may be going through his mind, that maybe I done stepped in too deep. He ain't showing. His poker face is absolutely double-edged sword. So what does this fight look like the night of the fight, August 26th? What does Floyd do?
I'm going to tell you what Floyd's going to do, just like he's done with everybody else. He's going to break him down.
How?
Work his jab. He's going to hit him with the jab first, circle the ring, do footwork. Then he's going to go in the shell, start countering him with his right hand, and then hitting him with left hooks and rolling under his wild punches. It's what he does with everyone else. Like him against Marcos Maidana, he's a hard puncher. He's probably as powerful as Conor McGregor. Comparing the two.
He's walking around 200 pounds right now, so he is.
Right. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. We're gonna see on the 26th. He does the same thing to every single fighter. Fighters train their whole life to beat someone like Floyd, and they still can't. I just don't see someone who's been, getting 2 years straight of work, going in the ring, into his world, and just dominating. I just don't see it happening.
That's why they bet.
Yeah.
That's why they make the fight. That's why they have the ink. That's why they have contracts. That's why they have the UFC. And that's why they have boxing. Because now it can happen. What is it going to look like the night of the fight?
Like I said, McGregor's coming from the MMA world, so I don't think he's gonna adapt to the game of boxing. Like I'm pretty sure he'll come out swinging with like hooks and knockout shots. I don't think he has the skill set to set up those punches like with the jab and stuff. So I think he gonna get tired fast. Floyd gonna do what he always do. He might get that knockout. Like he said, he gonna have to stand toe to toe with the guy and draw that line. Like he said.
Right. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a good fight, man. It's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be a parade. Yep. What you got, man? What does it look like? If you call the fight, if you call something, you gotta stick it out there. You gotta put it out there on Quiz Street. We got it on the record now. I gotta send a shout out to all my peoples out there, all my crew out there that do it for the betters at ESPN. My boy Johnny Wiles, shouts out. And now back to the Zion at hand.
Well, for me, from what I see is Floyd is just gonna peel layers. That's given. That's what he's gonna do. And I know he's gonna see a lot of holes in Conor's, his arsenal. So I know for a fact that Floyd is just gonna pick him off. He's just gonna pick and poke, and round roughly about the fourth, maybe fifth round, he's pretty much gonna get into the Philly shell, and he's gonna start countering, and he's really gonna start chopping him down, working the body, and I know he's gonna throw a lot of jabs.
I think he's gonna go to the Philly early. Yeah. I think he's gonna draw that line like he did with Canelo.
Well, I don't know now. Your Philly shell going against the southpaw, I'll put this on one of my tests. Is that the best solution? George,
is
that the best solution for a southpaw?
I thought he was
I'm gonna talk about Conor. I'm not gonna talk about Floyd. Well, let me talk about Floyd just a little bit about what he's gonna do. He's gonna fight just because Conor is a Conor puncher. Pretty much you're gonna see what he did to Canelo. That's what he's gonna do. Um, but what Connor's gonna do is I think he gonna throw a lot of power shot, not power shot, but hurtful shot, trying to hurt Floyd quick, cause he knows that he can't box him, so he gonna trying to hurt him. I don't know what he's practicing right now, but he should be practicing hurtful punches to hurt him, cause we all know that Floyd gonna have to adapt to him. So for him, that's where his shot come from. He's gonna be adapting to me, so let me hurt him. So that's what I'm thinking he should take advantage from that point and then hurt the old man.
Could he hurt him on the inside, or would you, if you were right now, if you was walking, if Conor McGregor walked in here right now, and you would say, look, this is one thing I got to tell you to do, how to throw it.
I don't. In the inside, it's gonna be hard for him to hurt Floyd just because from all the thing I watch him do, he doesn't work in the inside. He pretty much uses the range because he doesn't do inside fighting. So I don't think it's gonna be an inside. It's gonna be a more range because he got longer reach and longer range than Floyd. So I haven't seen him fight in the inside. I don't think he got an inside game really. But I think he's gonna be more for distance, trying to hurt him from there, and that's where his shot is. He got big bone. He can hurt him. He can drop like big punches. Like he can really do that.
Short right hooks.
I don't know if he know how to throw that. That's the only thing. I don't know if Conor know how to throw those low boxing. Tricks. I would call it because as a guy from another martial art, I didn't know how to throw the low hooks, the 12-inch, the 6-inch punches and stuff like that. So I don't know if Conor knows it. We heard that Bruce Lee know how to do the 1-inch punch, but we don't really practice that. So I don't know if he knows that. But he does come from a boxing background when he was younger. He didn't do a lot of years on it, but I don't know if you know how to throw that. But I do, from what I see in the cage, it's more of a reach. He knows how to use his reach, so that's what
he said. He on that Bruce Lee stuff. He said it. Bruce Lee was the king of the 4-inch. Bop! So, but the piggyback off what George was saying, you're right. There are a lot of different punches. There are breakdowns of punches, variations of punches, and not only are they, different variations, they're all sharp. Whenever you got a Conor McGregor, I saw some things in the sparring with Paulie Malignaggi, but not just that, which that was definitely, fugazi. There's not a lot of weight in it, but all I need, how many seconds did I tell you all I need to see of a fighter? 12 seconds. If I get 12 seconds on you, I got you. And I did see some things in his style, even when he's in the octagon. So I'll break that down in about 15 seconds of understanding range, understanding how to step back and catch a guy. That punch, when he got that 13-second knockout, that was a chip shot. We call that, boom, ankle punch. Ali was taught that back in the 60s, and it's 4 inches, and it travels at 4/100ths of a second. That's the blink of an eye. Pop! And if it catches you, it's going to hit you, and you're not going to see it on top of the fact that it hit you. And that punch right there, if you're going to catch somebody where you throw that, what's that called? Throwaway jab. Make them look hid and distract them, and then boom, out of nowhere you throw that other shot, and see they're distracted, and you're putting something on it. It's almost like you're playing with him on the side of that to make sure he distract him. Boom, and by the time that eye turn, boom, and you learn. And this is planning. It's not right here, it's out here, and you understand. And I've seen Conor throw that shot, but he's southpaw. So boom, it's coming from the left side. So if there are things that I know that a lot of people who are watching from the UFC and mixed martial arts, Bellator, and all of those other disciplines, they're watching. They don't quite understand how to break it down or how to allow their vision to see something they haven't been schooled about, but we have. And I see things that he could do that would give him a better chance in winning that fight. That anchor shot and little shots to the liver. But those things you got to practice. Those little liver shots, you can't get in the ring with a Floyd. A guy who lives off of that. He knows somebody who's a novice. You can't even get in the ring and spar with him if you're a novice at his gym. You have to be on an elite level or headed up that way to even get in the ring, because you'll get chewed alive because he's a dog. Conor McGregor's a dog. What do I mean by dog? A dog is no matter what happens in that ring, he coming. No matter how bad you hurt him, he coming. You know what I'm saying? And like when it came down to Conor being choked out, it's being choked. That's different. You know what I mean? And even the second time it happened, he went ahead and bit down on his mouthpiece and was like, whatever happens, happens. Just like Holly Holmes. And she's about that life. Because when you can go out like this, you're the real deal. I have no question about you. You can be in the foxhole with me any war. Because that's what it takes, though. Those little things that they do in the fight will be exponentially the key to him getting away with a victory. And
So I got one question too. Now I have seen a lot of McGregor's fights. You know, they say also that the only time that he lost was when he was knocked down on the ground. You know what I mean? And like
choked out.
Yeah, when he's throwing hands, like
oh, yeah.
he can.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he's really gonna throw hands with Mayweather like just up the whole time. I think he's gonna try to anticipate strength on him. He's gonna really try to avoid Mayweather's little quick tabs, but try to get that one powerful shot in.
Mm-hmm.
You know
well, that
what I
one
mean?
powerful shot, like I said, like most people are saying, that's what his shot. His shot ain't that. It's learning how to use the body. It's learning how to use the shoulders. Whenever they're in a position and he rotate that shoulder.
That's what he's training for, though, definitely.
And whenever you learn how to bang bodies, use your size and make it ugly. I mean, and making the fight ugly. Let me see. Let me give you a demonstration of what an ugly fight was. Matter of fact, Castillo Mayweather. If you Google that fight, go to YouTube and check that fight out. He made it ugly. He raked on. He stayed on Floyd in his chest. But he was an experienced boxer. No, he was an experienced killer. And when he did that, well, Floyd did have to he had a torn rotator cuff too. So he was fighting with one hand, but that's how good Floyd is. He beat a guy who could maul on him, stay on him, stay in his chest, stay on his nerves all night long, and still find a way to create enough space to score. But whenever you see a guy make a fight ugly, Evander Holyfield, Mike Tyson pulled that up. The first one, the second one, forget about it. Evander Holyfield, hip shots, elbows, head, boom. But it's all in boxing. It's not cheating, it's craft. And the art of breaking a person down is getting them out of their mindset. It wasn't about just the physical damage that he was giving them. It was about the mental. He knew that Mike Tyson was feeling, hey man, that was an elbow. Hey man, that was low. Hey man, that was a headshot. He know that's going through his mind. And while he was steady thinking and talking to himself, Evander was steady hitting him. That's how you get into his head. So it's not all about just the punches. It's about taking the guy out of his game. Marcos Maidana, Floyd Mayweather. Marcos Maidana coming in there with them overhands, wow, 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 hitting them uppercuts, hands, doing everything but pulling Floyd pants down. Then that's what you call an ugly fight. Doing what you have to do to win the fight. It's not just about boxing at that point. It's not about looking good. It's about getting out of this one and winning pretty the next time. So when I look at this, I don't think of that. I'm a coach that understands the entire complexity of what happens in that ring from first round to 12. It doesn't have to be by the book. There's science that goes behind getting into a person's head, and allowing them to fight how they want to, you can't do that. So maybe that sounds like a plan. that I would use or you would use, but it's a lot more than coming in there and saying I'm gonna hit him with a big shot. How about getting his head out of the game and then catching him when he's most frustrated? Think that might be a already good game
Yeah,
plan?
definitely.
Yeah.
I agree. But I think that'll be the way McGregor does it. He doesn't do it in the booth because I don't think he knows how to do it in the booth.
Yeah.
He might do it with talking, but get in Floyd's head by talking. But I don't think that's gonna work with Floyd.
I think that
on a lot.
McGregor likes to put on like that picture though, you know, he has that confident way physically how you portray him, you know, because you're looking at him like, yo, he looks like he's top notch, you know, just by what he does. But I understand like when he's in the ring.
I feel like if Conor talk a lot of shit in the fight, and as the fight progresses, he's not gonna talk a lot of shit, which I'm sorry, but he's not gonna talk a lot of mess, which will give Floyd more confidence.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like right now it's gonna be like eye to eye, you know, like right now they're looking, you know what I mean? They're like just discussing, everybody's just viewing everything going on, but once they're like in the ring and it's like, okay, like it's actually time, let's see where that mindset's gonna remain. You know what I'm saying? If that confidence with McGregor is still gonna be at that level.
I think it's gonna be there because just from every other fight that he had, that confidence was there. Even the first fight, fight with Diaz, he was so overconfident when he was going in that first fight, and he was talking crap and stuff like that. I think he's still gonna do that, but he just needs to know that with Floyd, it's gonna be different. Floyd, I don't know how Floyd fight inside the ring. I don't know if he talk a lot, but I do see him do a lot of facial stuff, looking.
Yeah.
Those kind of that get into like I'm gonna hurt you. But that's what I
Oh,
want.
you're saying so when I be like this, like in your head?
No,
I think
that's just.
I think it's
Well,
gonna be more the fact that he won't be able to hit Floyd.
He's gonna hit
He's
Floyd.
gonna get frustrated.
No,
He's not gonna
he gonna hit Floyd.
He's gonna get a few in,
unless
like
you
I
know
said,
how
he's-
to do that peekaboo.
No,
Yeah.
he's not gonna do peekaboo. He's not gonna do. I mean, it's a fight.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I can go with somebody just new. He's still gonna hit me. Just not gonna rock him, but he's gonna hit him.
And before we clicked out, you know, we were discussing the fact that, you know, there's certain methods in hitting. I learned a while back that I seen a young kid come to the gym, didn't have all the coordination in the world, but when he got in the ring, he was still able to score. Didn't matter if his punch looked great, didn't matter if it was going to get a grade A in the sport of boxing. The fact is, he saw a target, he landed it. And it was, even if it was loopy, it was working. And it doesn't matter. You don't have to, it's not how you do it. No, it doesn't matter what it looked like. The fact is you can make it an ugly fight and make it grimy. And that's what this is all about. You don't know what it is you're going to see that night. That's why you're going to have the pay-per-view or you're going to be there. They've already sold over $70 million worth of seats. You can't tell me there's no intrigue in this fight because if everybody knew for a fact what was going to happen, why would you pay to see it? So, like I said, we just wanted to chime in. We're gonna have official predictions. My prediction will be up on ESPNboxing.com or ESPN The Insider on Wednesday, so you'll know exactly who I picked and why I picked that person. And we will do a weigh-in show on Friday, so tune in. Come over to Master Boxing on YouTube or over on Facebook. Like I said, this is the panel right here. These are all fighters up and coming, and we wanted to give you guys kind of like a spectacle or just a viewpoint from each one of these guys from a different science because they all have a viewpoint. And hope you guys enjoyed the show. Shouts out to all of those who supported, and we look forward to seeing this fight. Anybody else got anything to say before we bounce out?
McGregor all day. You already know.
All day.
Money made, all the way.
Even if he doesn't win, he gonna take something great out of this fight for the cage fight. that he's going back home. He's gonna be even he's gonna be a dragon. Forget about monster. He's gonna be a dragon. He's gonna be because nobody in the cage right now can even do anything to him because everybody's like wrestling, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, and they can't even do Muay Thai anyway. So not even Muay Thai because people hate hitting people on the leg with the shin because it hurts. So they don't even like to do kicks in cage fight. You see it, but hands, he's like by far he's the best. And I just wanna I think this one gonna add so much to his game and fighting Floyd gonna be
Take him to the next level.
take him to the next level. I mean, his eye gonna be open and it's gonna be scary for people in UFC. I think that's to me honestly for McGregor is like that's what I want to see at the end of the day. At the end of the day, that's what I want to see. Like after this fight, what you gonna bring to UFC? It's gonna be. I mean, he's pretty much he's gonna change the game over there, having this little fight with Floyd.
Yeah, he might not beat Mayweather, but when he goes back to UFC, he might not lose again.
Yeah, but don't you think he's gonna motivate other guys to get on their striking game even more?
I think they're already doing it right now.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, there are levels to saying, okay, we need to step it up into a real master boxing flag.
We make champions.
We make champions. That's all it is, man.
Yeah.
Well, my name is Eric A. Bradley.
The Wild Prince, you already know, McGregor all day.
Mr. Philly Shell, Zion.
I'm James Primo Dantes.
Pup, Brendan Jackson.
Trey Mars, 9192, Inside the Box.
And everybody's social media will be at the end of this video. And we are signing out. This is Master Boxing, where we break the fight world down, round by round. Peace.
We make champions.